So in the end, after selling out my first convention, I made a total of, what's up guys? So you guys might not know, but I've been planning to do a convention for a couple of months now. First I was kind of hesitant because I went to this fair to test it out and the fair was a complete flop. There was like 20 people total that came to visit, and then all of them were like old and not the right crowd. And I paid like $10 for that, and so I was kind of worried when I saw that the vendor booth table was $100. I was kind of afraid that the vendors would like just jack our money like last time, but I was in for a pleasant surprise. Another issue that I had was that the entry fee was $20 per person. The margins on my clothing are super low. Go to www.theobviouscompany.com to purchase your clothing right now. It's super affordable. So that would mean that I would have to sell a lot of clothing just to have my profit margins break even. So my boy Ken, who went to a sneaker convention with JP, another one of our friends, and they were there trying to sell shoes and clothes. And they said that it was pretty lit, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of volume. And so eventually I kind of decided, hey, I should just go for this. And in the end, worst case, it's just a waste of time and a waste of $100. When it comes to marketing and when it comes to trying to figure out how to like establish a brand, honestly, that's not too bad. So the night before, Ken came over and helped me prepare the inventory, and then he also stayed the night. Because this was my first fair, I really didn't know what to expect, and I didn't know how much I had to prepare. And so as I was preparing, I realized, oh shoot, I didn't take inventory yet. That took a lot longer than I expected because we had to pack the boxes, we had to take inventory, and then like I had to finish up a couple of pieces because I just dropped the ball on some of the things. But anyway, after we got all the boxes packed, I was like laying in my bed and I realized, shoot, I forgot about the signage. Like, how are people gonna know like how much things cost or stuff like that? And so pretty much at that point, I got out of bed. It was already like 1 o'clock or something. And I started working on my computer, trying to design some signage. And then I went to go make the signs. On top of that, just more and more small things started coming up. Like, I realized that, oh, I need to bring a clothing rack because, you know, I'm selling clothing and it should be on display so that people can quickly browse it without feeling like, you know, they have to come talk to me. And then I also have this mannequin that I was supposed to use, but I like completely forgot that like I need a I have a mannequin, I should probably bring it. But it's also kind of like really awkward to carry around because it like looks like you're carrying like a body. Yeah, so all of these things popped up into my mind when I was like almost about to sleep. And so I kind of jotted all these things down, and then for the most part I think I prepared enough. I got a lot of like backup supplies, and I had some tools in case, you know, something like happens or some tags break off. I can re-tag them, you know, small stuff like that. I didn't really know what to expect, and so I just figured like, this is the best I can do. We're gonna run with this. I'm exhausted. It's 3:30 a.m. or something ridiculous, and then like we have to get up really early. So not only did we go to bed late, we had to wake up really early. We wanted to get some of Ken's stuff from his house that he forgot. We want to get some breakfast because I don't think we're going to get any lunch because we're going to be at the convention. So the plan was to wake up early, take care of this stuff, and head over because we had to be in Detroit set up completely by 10:30 because doors would open at 11. And you know, like, I mean, I completely understand. The convention organizers like want it to look like it's put together. So we went to bed at around 3:30 and I was pretty nervous, which meant that I woke up like 3 or 4 times during the long nap that I took. And it was really funny because there was a certain period in time where we both had way too much energy and we're just laying in bed trying to like fall asleep, but we both tell that we were both wide awake. I feel even worse for Ken because I think I was snoring really bad and like he didn't get a wink of sleep. I think he got like 1 hour of sleep just before 7 o'clock when we had to wake up. When we woke up, we were both completely dead. We were so tired. We were like literally zombies, but I just had a lot of excitement for the event and I couldn't wait to see like what it would be like. So I loaded the car and then, you know, we took care of what we needed to do in Ann Arbor and then we started heading to Detroit. On the way there, I was like, shoot, we're gonna be so late. We were trying to leave Ann Arbor by 8, but it was already 8:30. which means we're gonna get there at 9:30, and then like by the time we figure out how to get to the vendor spot, it's already gonna be like 10 or maybe 10:30. I was like, dang it, dude, we're late. Like, we're gonna have to forfeit our vendor booth table. I was like, crap. And so I was like looking to call the organizers, and then I read the email and it said, setup for vendors starts at 9 a.m. and setup must be done and completed by 11:30 a.m. By knowing that, I just felt much more peaceful, and so we just kind of tried to figure out how to get there, and then we got there. So after we found parking, we were trying to get our stuff from the car to the vendor spot. And, you know, I had a hand truck, you know, like the one that has like 2 wheels and like you can like load boxes on it and you can walk around. So I had one of those, but the thing is I had like 4 boxes. And I had this clothing rack that like kind of had like 4 wheels, and it kind of was like one of those like hotel like dollies. And so I was like, oh, this will probably work. About a quarter of the way from like the car to the vendor convention center place, like I realized this thing is not gonna hold up. This thing's like literally about to break. You know, part of me was like, I have confidence that this will work, and just a little bit farther and we'll be okay. And so I kept trying. And this was a big problem because it broke down like halfway. Even though my rack sort of broke, we got all our stuff in, and then I found out that it wasn't actually a break. It just kind of like popped out of the socket and was kind of like bent. Eventually I got that fixed and solved. And then we had to set up our table. I'm no kind of like interior designer. I have no idea what looks good. I just was kind of like putting stuff down, and you know, I'll show you a picture of the table like right now.
Look at this dude.
I mean, I think the end product looked like pretty okay, but yeah, if you guys have any ideas, like, you know, please let me know. So we kind of talked with some people, we talked to our next door neighbors, and you know, it was pretty cool. A lot of the people were pretty cool. A couple of them had a lot of good things to say about my like table and my, you know, my brand, and so that was like really nice. So then it was around like 12 o'clock, and at 12 o'clock, that's when like the people started coming in. And you know, at first it was like it was a small trickle. There weren't that many people. I was like, dang, is this like another flop? Like, did I really just throw away like $100? Like, I thought this would be a big thing, but I guess it's just whatever. Another wasted 6 hours and $100 just in the toilet. So we waited for about 1 hour or so. That's when we got like our first customer. I was getting pretty tilted because a lot of people were just kind of like walking by, and I was like, what's going on? Like, is my table that ugly? Like, is my product that lame? Oh, I thought this was like supposed to be like the perfect place for me to sell. Why is this happening? So about an hour in, our first customer comes in, and he's like, yo, this is so dope. Can I try on a hoodie? And I was like, yeah, for sure. And so he puts on the hoodie and he's like, yo, I'm gonna buy this right now. And then I was like, okay, cool. I'm glad you like it. And so, you know, we were kind of figuring it out. But then like his payment option wasn't working. And so he pretty much like stood there for like 15 minutes, and I was like, dude, is this guy just like trying to swindle me? Like, is he just trying to like pretend like he's trying to pay? Maybe he'll like wait for a moment and say, oh, hold on, like I'll come back. Cause he was already wearing my hoodie. And so like I was afraid he was gonna like run away, and then I was like, oh my God, I don't really want to deal with this. And like, dang, like I don't know, like he doesn't have cash, we don't have another way to pay. So either way, I was like, like dang, like the first customer I have is like a fraud, and like, you know, he's just trying to like do something. He was trying to do something like stupid or something. I don't know. I was just like, dang, like this is, you know, like I asked for a customer, but it's just a tease, you know? Eventually we got that figured out, and that was like cool. And he was really happy, and I was really happy, and I was like, yes, 1 hour, like, you know, now's the time it's gonna start popping up. So like I was sitting at the table because like I felt like people didn't really want to be hawked at. I really shouldn't just be like, hey yo, like come and check out my product, you know? So I was just like trying to play it cool. About like 45 more minutes pass, and like there's not a single person. Like some people come, stop by, and you know, they just give you like the head nod. They're like, okay, cool. just like walk, they're just like browsing, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think I'm just kind of not used to that, and I'm like kind of expecting like a more polarizing. If you like it, you really like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. You just move on quickly. Yeah, so that happened for about 45 more minutes, and then I was like, at this rate, I'm gonna lose a lot of money. I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm just gonna try and talk to people, and you know, in the end, I'll get some survey insights onto like what people think about my brand, how's the pricing, how's the materials, you know, just basic stuff like that. If anything, I'll at least have paid $100 to get some insights as to what people actually think about my brand in like the streetwear community. And so I started doing that, and I ended up learning some pretty interesting things. So I got a little bit carried away telling this story. This video is way too long. So I'm splitting it into 2 parts again. But let me know in the comment section below if I tell the story in too much detail or if this is good and you like having a lot more detail and a lot more of my thought process, or if you would rather just cut to the chase. So comment down below and I'll see you guys for part 2. Peace.